Hi there, and welcome to another edition here on Busternet. These are the Gloucester City Diaries, and yes, we are off to Hoffenheim. Yes, before our trip to Germany, I just thought we'd take a look at our team and talk about a few things. One of the things I plan to do very soon is to do a roles video about playmakers. I plan to do this to help people understand that you can play more than one playmaker in a system and why certain playmakers play differently from others. So in our system here, we have two playmakers. I've got what like to think of as a magnet in Lopez and a deep line playmaker in the form of Olmedo. So he's playing a bit deep now. A deep line playmaker on support might be holding position, but you should expect him to be in this area so he doesn't really hold position, doesn't stay back all the time. So he kind of stays, he kind of acts like a pivot more or less. So he stays in the central area of the pitch. So that is very good if you want to create a system where you are looking for double pivot action like we are with two support duties over here. So now we are getting all set for this match. I'm a bit concerned. We we are off to Hoffenheim, right? And we have several things before this. We got one problem in Abel Collado, right? So people want him now. So I've offered a contract to him, and this is something I should have done to Kone, but I didn't. When Monaco came sniffing around Kone, I should have tagged on a minimum fee release clause immediately of 150 million on him. Now, what happened is after I finalized the deal and exit the talks, he's gonna you can he's gonna start getting like he was if he says now he says yes he's gonna accept the contract, then you can keep him in the club. And then if they do come and he goes like, oh, I want to play for Barcelona, then I'll just tell him I want, well, we will let you go as long as they meet the valuation for you. And he's already signed a contract which is the minimum release clause of 150 million, which he agreed to. So cool, give me 150 mil, man. If you're happy with that, then you can go. And I don't mind because 150 million is still a lot of money. So here we are. Let's get set for the match against Hoffenheim. Now, once again, we are trying to fit a square peg into a round hole in the form of Joe Hanks. Germano is supposed to play here. Ross Barkley is supposed to here. Lopez is supposed to be playing here. Z Gomez and Lacazette is supposed to alternate. But I somehow decided that we are going to try and make Joe Hanks into a kind of a hero for the club. And well, while my heart says that's a nice thing to do. My head says you are being completely retarded because I'm actually tying my hand behind my back and trying to make my team play football to compensate. So everybody else has to carry him. And the other thing that I'm a bit worried about is my left flank. Now, ever since Kone went to PSG, we have now discovered that our left flank is extremely vulnerable, and everybody seems to like go like, oh, we're going down their left now. Oh, this is a very nice flank to attack. So I every single goal I've considered this season, every goal has come from an assist on that flank where Hajek is operating. So we miss Kone already. Lopez Germano strikes that, and ooh, they managed to block. So it's pretty sad, but we have to make money one way or the other. Colado shoots, again gets the ball. Germano now plays it back to Mafio. Germano to Lopez. He's supposed to drag people around and he's trying to do that. Hijack now to Colado to Lopez. Yes, he's managed to pull a few. Joe Hanks pulls it wide to Mafio. Mafio across this, but there are just too many bodies in the box. Almeida to Colado to Lopez. Lopez is at the edge of the box, shoots, gets a corner for his work. And the boys have another chance at another corner. Joe Hanks is going to play it short to Olmedo. Yes. Olmedo plays it back to Joe Hanks. They play it back to each other. And okay, that was an elaborate way of getting it to the opposition goalkeeper. They must have planned this in the training sessions. We must talk to them about their training sessions because really, if you're going to do all that work just to give it to the keeper, what the hell are you doing, Z Gomez? Now that's what I call a shot, forcing Bowman into a save. Here we go again with another short corner routine. Joe Hanks, no, it's not. Into the air it goes. Z Gomez picks up the pieces and says, "Here you go, Almeida." That's what I mean by deep line playmaker on support. He acts like a pivot inside the opposition area. If you want to try and control both zones, you can use two central players on support, and they will go up and down as pivots. But you need hard-working players. You need plenty of determination to pull that off, and their mentals have to be solid as well. So you just can't put a role and expect him to play that role well. Just look at what's happening on our left flank. I mean, if people are thinking this is a cheat tactic, well, so far it's not, because Hajek is nowhere near as good as Kone. So you really need the players. And ever since we saw Kone, we've had a major problem on our left flank. Yeah, it was already bad enough we concede goals from the right flank. Previously, we hardly ever conceded goals from the left flank. Now we've got to worry about both flanks. Well, after the first quarter of an hour, we still haven't really penetrated them. Shimano, except for one shot on goal. Olmedo on target rather. Colado to Germano. Germano out to Joe Hanks. Joe Hanks holds the ball up. Good pass to Mafio. Mafio crosses it. No chance there. Olmedo, we are really having to carve this side open. And finally, they finally broken through. Lopez with a great goal. What an assist from Mafio. It took us a while, but we finally broke through. Olmedo's cross, almost passed to Mafio. Mafio's cross was very nice. Lopez moved through and between the players to score. And the weather has definitely taken a turn for the worse. And I don't even know how I should play this. Well, it's gonna affect our game because the final third passing is all direct. So this is will the passes be accurate? No, there Hanks loses the ball. Marinov out to sub Pizza. Plays it back to Marinov. With the gale, they're gonna shoot. Oh, you beauty, Joe Hanks comes back to help the boys out. We have a throw Mafio to Z Gomez. Z Gomez to sorry, that was Sergi Gomez to Z Gomez, or was it Z Gomez to Sergi Gomez? I got too many Gomez's. I got two Gomez's. You think I'll be able to keep track? All right, Olmedo again. Now I want you to pay attention to where my playmakers are. All right, so the thing about the deep line playmaker and the attacking playmaker on support. The attacking playmaker can be played uh, on the flanks in the final third and in the center of the pitch. So the good thing about them is that you got two kinds, right? You got no. Okay, thank you very much for clearing that. Oh, here we go. We're defending quite a fair bit against this team. Uh, the playmakers, you got the support duties and you've got attacking duties basically, right? So you got two. Now, on support duties, they are all brilliant magnets. Why? Because they hold the ball up, they need strength, they need passing in, decisions, composure. So they need all those attributes, so that they can become a magnet. So they will always drag people around because they're supposed to have some decent technical ability. Like if you're looking at Cesar Lopez, he's not all that bad. Technique is 15, composure is about 14. So he really is a pretty decent playmaker. Who's Gomez missing that? So whenever he gets the ball in a support duty, he won't. You can choose not to dribble. You can choose to dribble. So you've got options with these attacking playmakers. So you have certain options you have with them. And in his particular case, I've told him not to dribble. Now, the attacking playmakers on attack, they're different. They're not on support duty, they're on attack duty. So they are going to make these runs um, earlier. And when they get the ball, they start behaving like Eden Hazards, right? So they start dribbling, taking players on. If you have that kind of a player, why not? But I'm Gloucester City. Honestly, I have one player, he might be Germano. To some extent, maybe even Lopez can do that. But I'm not gonna do that because my players might lose the ball in a very dangerous area because my playmakers are all here in this area over here. If they lose the ball here, it's like there are only two defenders here. Ball goes to the middle and we'll probably concede a goal. Which I see in a lot of PKMs and a lot of YouTube. I mean, sometimes I watch other YouTubers with their videos as well, and I see when balls get going when cutting through in the middle, it's usually because Either A, the line is too high, or B, they've lost the ball in a very dangerous area. I hate losing the ball at points like this because I'm actually in an attacking transition, and you see what has happened? My players are trying to come back to defend. That is the worst time to lose the ball. So if you have a player who's dribbling, those are the things you're going to see, and that's how you concede goals. And this is what I was doing last season, right? So whenever uh, the AI would attack and lose, we would be putting our players in such a way that we could win the second ball, while like just what just happened there, and then we would try and hit them with a quick counter. This is the best time to hit a quick counter because they are in an attacking position already, like now, and they have to track back and try and defend, and they won't be in their proper positions, and gives us like better chances at scoring goals. So you want to watch how you set your players up. So if you're going to use playmakers in the final third or anywhere in the center of the pitch, please make sure that if you decide to give them an attack duty, make sure that they can actually do something with the ball. Don't choose an attack duty for the sake of choosing an attack duty, because if they do lose the ball there, and if you don't have a setup where you can defend well, then you're only gonna give the AI a chance of doing a counter press or a counter attack. One of those two are gonna happen. So that's one of the reasons why I love the playmakers, but you have to use them wisely. Now, I have two playmakers. You'll notice that I've got one in the third over here, and I've got one more over here. The deep line playmaker on support, the information on the tooltip says he holds position. Now, what this literally means is he doesn't he stays around his zone, this entire zone. This is where he holds his position. Notice that my playmaker does not go to the flanks, does not try and cross balls. He stays largely in that zone there. That's what I think they mean by hold position. Like if I were to change this guy to a defend duty, he will have now hold position close down more. But it's also hard coded in the game that he will not bomb forward now. So you want to put him on support. I want to put him on support so that he actually takes part in transitions. So that's basically what I like to do. There are two differences here. You got a deep line playmaker on support, right? And you got a regista on support. Regista on support has a different instruction. He doesn't hold position. He actually gets forward. So the regista on support is a much more um, attacking playmaker from deep. Yeah, so he tries to get involved in the attacks. He will he will venture into the opponent's final third and try to take part in attacks there as well. And that's I didn't opt to use one because I want a double pivot here. Notice again my two playmakers and how they're positioned. They're acting as a double pivot. So the ball comes back in their direction. They just change the direction of play. Hangs with the ball, plays it to Germano. Great ball out to Mafio. Mafio out there by double pivot. They recycle possession again, get Lopez into a great position. So this is why I use two support duties, and this is the reason why we are able to get into the golden zone easily. Germano, notice how during this transition, Germano has dropped back because there's also some interchangeability during transitions. So here we have a transition change. Germano has dropped into where Olmedo is supposed to operate. Olmedo is further forward. Now, eventually, they will switch back. Lopez now he switches back. Olmedo will now drop. Olmedo now hold his position while Germano takes over. And again, they hold position. And we score a goal. It's 2-0. So in this show, I'm actually talking about playmakers rather than talking about my match because I want this to be about playmakers. So, what kind of playmakers do you want to get? Why are playmakers so important in your game? The playmaker role is an important role because there are certain things that are hard coded into the playmaker role, right? And you can tell what these hard coded instructions are by going to each of their instructions and seeing what they have. Like in this particular case, in my deep line playmaker. He's got shoot less often, a hold position, which is brilliant. This is what I just wanted to. I want you to get up there, become a pivot, and definitely don't take long shots. Here we've got he's tackling harder, which is the thing you see. Defensive midfielder on support tackle harder, which is Something that the reason why Colado picks up so many cards. But what if I decided, let's now change you into a deep line playmaker on support. Immediately, there's no more tackle harder instructions. So I got a double playmaker and a triple playmaker combination now going on. So let's see what happens next. The good thing about doing that now would be that Colado now will not be picking up as many yellow cards as possible, but his closing down is also going to be affected slightly. Z Gomez going wide, looks for options, plays one into the box, and we almost get a third from Mafio's late surge into the box. So when you choose playmakers, there are several things that you want to pay attention to. The first, and this is very important, the first thing you want to make sure when you have a playmaker is he needs to have composure. Now, you need you need certain attributes, okay, without the shadow of a doubt. You need determination, you need work rate. These are two you can't live without. All right. You need bravery because chances are your playmakers will be in situations where they're going to be tackled, they're going to be in situations where they need to tackle. Either they are going to be tackled or they're going to need to tackle players. So they need composure. Composure is going to keep them calm under pressure. So an attacking playmaker in the final third, he needs composure. Without composure, players put pressure on him, he's going to lose the ball. So defensive playmakers, they will need determination as well as composure. They will need anticipation, passing, concentration, vision, passing, decision, concentration, vision. Yes, these are the vital attributes that they will need, and they also need strength. Yes, a deep lying playmaker needs some strength because you are also giving him he also has the role of getting back to tackle, right? So they will need strength, they will need tackling. So a deep lying playmaker is he's like a defender and an attacking playmaker. So you're gonna have a hard time, which is the reason why these are one of the harder positions to find. But I can tell you one thing, and I've told a lot of my patrons this as well. I rather sign fullbacks and central midfielders over specialist roles. Why? If I could find central midfielders who can tackle and pass the ball, then I can retrain them as defensive midfielders, and I can train them as a attacking playmakers if I need to. No problem. But if I end up with a like ML, right, like orthodox winger, then chances are that some of these players they don't have tackling in them. They're not very good at tackling the ball or tackling. They don't have bravery. So I don't want all that. So you want an all-rounder. So these defensive midfielders and central midfielders, some of them are very good all-rounders. So you want to look for a player who's got strong mentals and strong physicals. These are the attributes they are looking for in a playmaker at the back. The most important attribute, once again, is going to be determination. The second most important attribute is going to be composure. So all your playmakers need determination and composure. And playmakers play differently in fluid systems as well as in structured systems. In structured systems, playmakers become quite important. They have to have very good passing in structured systems because they're going to have to look for players that are further away from them. Well, a great solid win for Gloucester City. We've won this match 2-0. And as you could see, once we changed our, I think this match, probably for the first time ever, yes, Colado did not get a yellow card. For the first time ever, Colado has not picked up a yellow card. This guy picks up more yellow cards than I know. Okay, he has already played 7 games in the Premier League and picked up 4 yellow cards. Okay, that's like, I mean, that's a hell of a lot of yellow cards. So he's already played 4 Champions League matches. He's got 1 yellow card. So this is the first time I've seen him, and he's not had a yellow card. And this is one of the ways that some of the things that you need to understand about the roles that you play. So if you ever have a situation where you want to have a playmaker and you're opting to use a playmaker, right? If you got a defensive midfielder, he's hard coded with tackling hard. And Colado, in spite of everything else, he has decent aggression. He's got good decisions. He's got decent technique. His tackling is 14. His determination is only 12. Yeah, it could be better. Uh, but he always gets yellow cards. So if I see a player like that picking up a lot of yellow cards, I might want to change him to a deep line playmaker. Then I just change him, and what happens then? Okay, you got a deep line playmaker, and you start getting worried. I know some people might get worried. It's okay. Let's go to this deep line playmaker right now. You got Colado, right? So he's got more direct passes. I actually have both of them on more direct passes. So it doesn't really matter. But what if you have a deep line playmaker and you don't trust him with passes? Yeah, you can turn him into a defensive midfielder, right? So go shorter passing. That's it. Tell him only to take shorter passing, so he doesn't take any long passes. All right, but he has then he's passing on a deep line. He's a deep line playmaker on defend. All right, then you can play him as a deep line playmaker on defend. He doesn't have to tackle harder. You can make him a deep line playmaker on support. He's still you can give him shorter passing as well. So this is one way to avoid a situation where, oh my lord, I have a DM on support and he's picking up a lot of cards. So change him then. Don't play him as a defensive midfielder. Play him as a deep line playmaker, and you still avoid that. You don't have to worry about him tackling hard anymore and picking up cards that we just did in this match. Well, I hope you enjoyed this edition of the Gloucester City Diaries. We didn't really talk about the match. We won this match, but I wanted to talk about playmakers in general. I'll probably do the same thing in the next show as well, and I'll take a look at the talk a bit more about playmakers and as we carry on. So I hope you enjoyed the show. And if you have any questions, please look me up on Twitter at BusterNet or addicted2fm.com, my website. Once again, thank you for all your comments. And I hope if you have enjoyed this show, please subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think. And once again, I'd like to thank all my patrons for their continued support. I will have more role videos up for you very, very soon. You take care. Bye bye.